Hello, everyone. Dun, dun,
Hi.
dun. We are here live on Facebook. Okay, I can see the comments. Perfect. I can see Christina. Perfect. Hi, everyone. Let's make sure. I did that thing again. Okay. Welcome to a Sunday Morning Coffee with Caryn, episode 76. We have a special guest today, Xristina Thevaos. Did I say that right? Okay.
That was great. That was great.
We're going to be talking about kind of like part 2 of the TwinFlame Journey. Last week I came live with my twin flame, Dylan Michael. We talked about how this is really just a really kind of kinky, fucked up game that you decided to play with yourself as a soul, as a very advanced soul, and coming back together to serve a really high divine mission. And I thought that it'd be a good idea to bring in a second, another example for everybody to see, and
Dragon twin flame.
Yeah, another dragon twin flame, so that you guys can see the level of chaos that occurs and what might happen in one of the twins at any time, especially when you first meet, of like, I know that this is what I'm supposed to do, but why the fuck are you like this? So I'm just gonna share this out. So if Christina, you want to start and just give us a little, like, where did you come from? How did you find me? Like, let's give them all a second to really show how the dragons can affect your life in such a profound way, even from the fringe, right? Like, you and I have never worked in like a one-on-one capacity, nothing like that, and yet a year ago is when you started kind of following. And what is your life like now from a year ago?
Oh, fuck. A lot more expressive, a lot more enjoying of like the feeling and sensation of like being in my body and like experiencing more power, just a sense of personal power. And I mean, just moments of just, wow, just the feeling that, just that utter, I can't even get to it, chaos, the chaos of creation.
Yeah, the chaos of creation. That is exactly what dragons bring to your life. You're like, my life is like Hollywood would want to buy the rights to the movie of my life because this shit is insane, right? How has that affected you, like on your own personal like self-healing journey before you even came in? Like, tell us about like what it is that you already did and how now you've elevated, right? Because you already were in a metaphysical space.
Yes. So I had really been, following the light worker path, and because I didn't really know, I was just not really ready to call myself on any path, but I had been really going deep into my journey of self-discovery and, releasing shit that no longer served me. And I got to a point where I started really just picking up on dragon energy again. And I had pushed off dragons since I was a teenager. I freaking love dragons. But I got scared, like, oh, it may be evil, it may be nasty. And especially with my ex-husband, who like put his thing, like, the freaking crucifix up for everything, not literally because he wasn't a Christian, but, it's just like, I don't know what it is. It's just too evil. We're not going to look at it. Like I've just seen it could be bad. So we're just going to leave it alone. And it's like, come on, have some balls, grow some fucking, be a man, and let's like dig and explore and not just cut everything down. So when the dragon energy started coming, it scared the fuck out of me. It scared me. I didn't know what to make of it. And, but I was really intrigued. And so I started like really getting curious, asking questions, and realized that I had my fucking dragon in a box. She was in a cage and she was white as a ghost. And I started letting her out. She was scared. Yeah.
It's terrifying when they've been put in there, right? So like, let's talk about that a little bit more. When you really realize that whole ancient level of the dragon and how long it's been sitting in the cage, how does that like really start to affect what you feel as like a human? how do you integrate that? Like, how did you start letting her out?
Oh, God. Oh, I started roaring at my ex-husband. I was going through a divorce.
Yeah.
And that bringing that dragon energy up, like, started me getting out of my way with having 5 kids and feeling obligated to them and feeling obligated to the marriage and feeling obligated to where we were professionally, like in our careers, and wanting to have some notoriety still from that relationship, because, you know, it kind of was like a pulling coattails, and that sounds power hungry. So maybe, yes. Okay, it was, but there was something special that I knew that I had to offer that I couldn't get out there any other way. And so I used that energy to catapult.
So
and so I was like,
you're in the middle of a divorce, and now you like,
yeah, a year and actually, well, actually it was 2 years ago, but I'm sorry, I'm jumping all over the place. But 2 years ago, I really wanted the divorce. And like 6 months into that dragon energy started really coming out. And I just got more and more forceful and powerful and grounded in, like, this is what I want. I haven't been asking for this in the past because I didn't have that fortitude, you know, that's not even the right energy.
The requirements, you didn't have standards, right? You didn't know what your standards were.
Yeah.
And once you set your standards, you're like, you get to show up for me like this, or you're not going to show up. You're going to be like removed from the layer. Yes.
And just, you know, even with my kids, like putting people in their place, you know, like where instead of them walking all over me like they had been, you know, it was more like, no, I'm calling you out. I see what's going on, and this isn't going to work for me anymore. So here's how it's going to be. You can do it this way, or you can do it that way. And you face the consequences of your actions.
Do you feel like you would have been able to do that if you hadn't done any of the like inner, because before you found the dragon healing, you were already doing like inner child healing and aura clearing and things like that too, right?
Yeah, I had done that, and Reiki, a lot of really high level energy type work, you know, but yeah, that dragon energy really, now that I think about it, you know, that dragon energy has come out a lot along my lifetime, but like, that's when I would put her right back. You know, it's like,
it's fucking terrible.
So, but this dragon energy, as it started coming out, it expanded and catapulted like the ascension process, like majorly.
Yeah.
Majorly to the point where I started having awakenings that would literally level me so badly that I would be in bed for days and I could barely function. And we're talking, you know, sometimes like weeks. And as I didn't have my kids, you know, because I'd moved out, I would have to give the kids back sometimes and be like I didn't even have them for like a month and a half or 2 months at one point because it was so fucking intense.
Yeah.
And then
something that I'd like to talk about a little bit more, just for the general public who's watching. Women, and yes, this is going to be a feminist central conversation today. We are the birthers of our species. So in our DNA coding, if you are especially a mother, because a lot of my clients, almost pretty much all of my clients are mothers, we know what we want for our children. We can see it so fucking clearly. So when other people talk about New Earth, we're like, oh yeah, we know that. We've been there. We've been creating it in our minds for lifetimes. But now we're coming together with the other part of us that's been doing all of the divine, maybe more masculine, a totally different life sometimes. But we're never going to find that reflection to help us finish our final initiation, so to speak, until we've done all of that inner work first, right? So that really deep knowing that you're creating something and other people are get to help you, but like you're gonna fucking do this no matter what, right?
Wow. Now, see, that's a level of it that I haven't even gotten to. It's almost like some of mine is still running in the subconscious, but like I realize that what I've been finding is like my subconscious mind is like creating these fucking stories that are just like, yeah, it's relentlessly creating. So yes, okay, I get it now.
Yeah. So I'm so excited. Yeah, we're totally
Holy
gonna
shit. No, this is so cool.
coaching.
You're helping me put things together.
Yes. So good. Okay. And anyone who's on the live, if you have questions, you have your own story, your own twin flame thing, like we're gonna just riff and play today. We jumped on a little late, so we'll go a little over. It's all Gucci. So Xristina, tell me, when you think about how you were able to take all of your metaphysical tools, add the ferocity and ancient wisdom of dragons into it, how has that elevated your business, like other areas of your life, to this point where you recently connected with your twin flame? And we'll talk about that a little bit more, but I really want to get this background of how strong you are as an independent creator that would then cause this chaos of a twin flame connection to then show up in your life.
Wow. Okay. So I knew I was on a twin flame journey. But this energy, okay, let's go back to the dragon energy. As I started
this basis, and then you found the dragon, how did that really like you said it was a vortex of ascension, essential. Like, I don't think you used those words, but as soon as you said it, I was like, oh, it's the vortex of ascension that the dragons create. So tell me how that's been for you to be in that vortex and to start really commanding that energy in there.
I knew, so I met you on Facebook around this time where this dragon energy started coming online. And I was like intrigued as fuck by you, because I'm like, oh my God, like dragons. But then, it scared the fuck out of me because it's like so much. It's intense and powerful. But, oh man, like stepping into that, like I started realizing I needed to embody this dragon energy, but there was so much timidity there of doing it and just really like feeling what it felt like in all parts of me to just fully be me and fully like feel that expansion, which was scary, it was really scary. But every time I did just a little bit more, like, okay, just a little bit more, like I grew way more powerful and more empowered balls. Okay. Got more dragon balls, right? To start really stepping up and doing things. I mean, to the point where I didn't even realize how fucking powerful I was, but everybody around me is like, holy shit, how do you do all this stuff? How are you getting this done? You're living this magical life. And I'm like, didn't believe myself. I don't believe it, because I don't see it.
Yeah, because it's just your life. You're literally just living and creating, and other people look and they're like, how do you exist? Like, what are you? What are you exactly?
I know. And I mean, they almost like worship you, they put you on a pedestal like, oh my God, and I still don't get it.
Yeah, especially because if you're like me, a lot of people don't know this, but I'll always at our live events, I'm all like, I am literally a suburban housewife. Like my other, like, you see me as Superwoman right now, but when I go home, I'm a suburban housewife. And it blows people's mind that you can really have this real world experience while still serving this really divine, delicious purpose and intermingle it and interweave it and play heaven on earth, right? We're not going to heaven in a different dimension. We're living heaven on earth. That's the whole fucking point, is to get out of hell and go to heaven. But still staying in the same plane of dimension of physical reality. And that's where everyone gets fucked. They're like, oh, I have to die to go to heaven. No, you have to, well, yes, you have to die 1,000 ego deaths or more.
Yes,
1 million.
God knows. Oh, shit.
Daily. Hourly. Yeah, you have to be willing to die, which I did a live stream on this, guys, like a month ago. where we really talked about this like idea, like you have to be okay with just letting go of who you thought that you were, because who you thought you were is not nearly capable of holding the power necessary to change the planet. So Xristina, will you tell us a little about your own personal, like what have you come into knowing for your level, because you're the energy alchemist, like you have all this awesome, you have all these amazing clients, like tell us a little bit about that, and then give us your blow by blow in like 5 minutes or so of how you connected to your twin flame.
Oh gosh. So I had called myself alchemist for the soul because, you know, the work I was doing was really helping people like expand into who they were and just get clarity and grow, you know, refine. Because I'm really good at that, you know, helping rough edges. But I just felt like something more was coming, because like every freaking week practically, like my gifts and skills and abilities were growing and expanding. Like I didn't even know what to say I was doing. And all the while, like I just had this really intense knowledge that I was getting ready and prepared to meet my twin flame. And so like I was like, I'm just going to get rid of all the shit, get rid of everything, and just relentlessly worked on myself and getting into that energy.
What did you understand about twin flames at that time? I'm curious to know.
That they were powerfully drawn to each other, and that they were supposedly cut from the same, like they were the same soul. And they would trigger each other. Like that's really all I knew.
And you were like, yeah, that sounds fun. Let's do that. So you did all this inner work to get ready for it, even though you knew? See, I didn't know. If I had known, I don't know if I would have.
Well, I don't know. Like, I didn't know everything. Like, the dragon part, the whole, like, creating, like, the fucking extent of chaos of shit that you've created to clean up. Like, oh, fucking hell. Yeah, oh, my God. I mean, it's so like let's talk about being that. A god.
What last year you had finalized your divorce, you're finding out about the dragons, you're accelerating super fast, you got this crazy vortex going on, you're stepping into like, I'm big, I'm powerful, I'm badass, I'm mama dragon, I'm creating my own life. Where did your twin flame come from? How did that connection then happen?
A very strong pull to follow a direction that was leading me. I knew it, just like it was like a current, okay, and it was leading me closer. And all the while, the twin flame resonance was getting stronger and stronger in me, like the ache, okay, the knowing that like this thing is fat coming soon, and if it doesn't, I'm gonna fucking die inside. And then I met somebody that we actually really embodied that dragon energy together. Like he and I pulled out that dragon energy within each other. And it was kind of like an ascension partnership. Like we knew, like the fairies actually told me that we were ascension partners. And what happened was through challenging each other and really awakening that dragon energy. And there's drama here. Isn't there? How do you know? Like, where does all this dragon drama come from? Anyway.
We can talk about dragon drama. That sounds fun. Dragon drama comes because of the fact that we didn't come to play small. And we have to have big events that cause us to have big emotions. Because what do I say? Energy in motion, right? Emotions is just energy in motion. So we can't have bland, normal lives with just like lukewarm emotions, because then there's not enough energy to then move us and propel us forward to actually do the deep soul, like divine mission or work of, you know, changing the entire consciousness of the planet.
Wow. Yeah. This is blowing my mind.
It's not little work. It's not, it's the embodiment comes on a date. Like I cry my eyes out on a regular basis and then harness it and go make something because I'm so okay with the human vessel that I've chosen to be in. And the drama that occurs, I promise you that if you stick it out with that vision, right? The vision, what am I creating? What is the purpose? If I were to tell you what my like November through January life, personal life, 3D life looked like, you'd be like, how are you even alive right now? But because I was staying on focus of the divine mission work, which is healing the world through the frequency of freedom, or how Dylan phrases it, which is healing the world through sound, I was able to get through all of it, right? So that's what I'm wondering for you. What have you really connected to for your own personal knowing through all of your work that you are here on the planet to be creating? And how are you holding that together?
The balance of the masculine and feminine.
Yeah, it's within yourself, right? Taking the twin flame totally out of it.
Yeah, I mean, you have to do that because if you don't, I mean, that's been the work that I've been pushing so hard for with that, like since the fall, is really balancing that, bringing that feminine. Like I had totally stuffed down that feminine aspect, so I had to really ignite that again and heal it, you know, and heal the wounding there. So yeah, that's our relationship, our twin flame relationship has like the very wounded, like the extremes of the masculine and feminine. Mm-hmm. Like when we rage, like it's absolutely like the opposite. Like so yeah, it's pretty interesting.
So you guys fight?
Sorry, my voice. No, I wouldn't. Well, let's see. We've only known each other since we didn't meet until December 28th of 2020. He just flew down here on January 26th. Actually, he ended up here on the 27th because of delay from snow. So today being Valentine's Day is just over 2 weeks, 2.5 weeks of us actually seeing each other in person.
So how's the
And
running?
He put me on a freaking rapid fire awakening. It's been like a fucking Wiccan and dragon and freaking just soul wake the fuck up and be embodied. And I mean, boot camp for the last 2.5 weeks. I'm fucking whooped.
Yeah. So this is where
things are very, very different. Reality is very, very different. You're asking me things that, like, you're starting to really trigger these things that have already started seeing, but you're like putting it in place, and it's still like I'm not fully awakened yet. And sometimes I can't even get in that dragon energy. I mean, it's like, oh, fuck. But that's I embody that dragon energy in order for us to come together.
Yeah. And the dragon energy is really, truly the knowing that, like, okay, I will die for my cause. What's my cause? I don't know yet. But there's a cause, and I would die for it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and so it's actually not that. I mean, I thought that, our thing together is, oh, fuck, let me just shut up.
Talk.
Because I've got, well, all of this stuff comes together so rapidly, and the thing with this twin flame thing, at least for us, and Caryn, I'm real curious if it's like this for you too, with dragons, is that we're literally operating on so many different layers and so many different stories and like different past lives and stuff, and it's all coming together at once. It's like, is this happening for you too?
Oh yeah. Yeah. So let's go a little bit down the rabbit hole with this. So
good God.
Okay, for everyone viewing at home, the reason why I'm doing this live stream is because of the amount of you in my inbox telling me that you think you've met your twin flame. And I don't believe some of you, but I believed Xristina. And I wanted to show you, like, this is how going through the TwinFlame journey, like, this would be like a little tidbit for you. Like, I'm doing hot seat rapid coaching for her right now for you all live to see what it's like to work with me in this specific thing that I'm being called to do, because dragons work in pairs. They just do. They always have. If you go watch a live stream from me from October of 2019, you'll hear me saying that. Okay? They work in pairs. Our Kundalini energy runs as masculine and feminine inside of our own body. You have to come fully into your own body, and then you're essentially so much of a fucking narcissist that you created this external reflection to tell you how awesome you are, and then to pull you up to the actual level that you're meant to be. So for me, I'm meant to change the entire planet with the things that I teach. Dylan sees that and is pushing me into the spotlight at such a rapid acceleration that I'm like, but I told you I'm just a suburban housewife. Listen to me when I tell you this. Totally blown my life apart, right? Married, 3 kids, all the things. And it's because I do know that there's a reason why I was on this planet right now, for whatever. Adding in the game, right? Oh, okay. He's going to trigger me to, did I really do that lesson? Did I really, like, I thought that I learned this lesson. Oh, wait, I didn't actually learn this lesson yet. As again, this reflection, because he's gone through so many lifetimes, the true 144,000 liter twin flames, the 77,000 pairs here to shift the critical mass of consciousness, which is who I am fucking blowing a trumpet for because the dragons told me to. Fucking hell. Because that's a good idea. Because the dragons told, no, because that's what I'm here to do, is to blow the horn and get everyone to wake the fuck up, leader of leaders, to show up and be like, okay, we have played on our own as a soul all together for several thousand lifetimes. And then at some point was like, you know what if I split in half, right? The Persephone's Hades story. Like, I'm going to split in half and do a bunch of lifetimes split in half. But when it comes to the time for critical consciousness to, like, I'm a really fucking powerful dragon, I'm going to need to be all together again. I'll come back together and relearn and integrate because I don't have time. If I stay single, I'm never going to be able to live enough lifetimes to then come back at that juncture that we've already agreed upon previously, right? The ascension was agreed upon before the game even played in very many ways when you start looking at quantum time in that way. So you're like, okay, I can do it, but I could learn a whole lot more if I split in half, but then I'll come together and reintegrate it. So I wonder, Xristina, do you like learn things from your twin that you didn't actually learn, but as soon as he starts talking, you're like, oh yeah, I actually fucking knew that already?
Yeah. All the time.
Yeah.
All the time. And we've done things the same way, observed things the same way. I mean, like, we have the same feet, like, just, yeah.
I'm curious about the foot thing. Is it like a pinky toe that curls under?
No, we have injuries in the same place. I mean, we have, you know what? It may be a pinky toe that curls under. That too.
Yeah, Dylan and I have the same feet. It's weird. And you look the same. Like, if you were to shave your head, I bet you would look like your twin. So I told Dylan that he's not allowed to shave his head after I shave mine. Like, it's weird. It's weird, guys. It's not. Would you say, Xristina, that it's like, oh, I found the missing part of me and I'm just so enamoredly in love?
Absolutely.
And then 5 seconds later, you're like, I want to fucking murder you. Get out of my life.
Who the fuck is this person, this unbalanced fucking person? And, how, and, oh my God. Yeah. And, but then, everything you do, like he cooks like I cook.
Yeah.
Yeah. I can't even talk. It's so overwhelming. It's amazing.
And it's like I bet you if you guys keeps finding things at this point, is it like, yeah, I get it, we have synchronicities from our past. Like Dylan and I both, our first jobs were hostess at a Mexican restaurant. Like how is that randomly? Like, you know what I mean? Like you said with your feet. That happens all the time at this point, right? I mean, it's only been 2 weeks, so maybe not.
It does. Well, so we even had this one too. When I was 5 years old and he was 10, I first started like really looking for somebody. Like I just was looking for somebody to love me.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I bet I think I was even looking for like that one. Like I was looking for that one already then.
Yeah.
And when I asked him, like when he was 10, he started thinking about that one too. And then like all these other synchronicities through, as we got closer, especially that, God, I wish I could even think of them right now. But yeah, it's been, there's a feather.
Yep.
I'm sorry. I wish I could give you some more details. It hasn't been a lot of sleep lately with this rapid fire ascension process.
We'll check back in a month, see how she's doing. So tell me a little bit more about the feeling of like, so for those of you out there that are like, oh shit, now that I've heard these two women talking, I think maybe I might have met my twin flame already. Except for he, and yes, I'm going to be doing this right now because I haven't yet met a pair. No, every pair will be like this. It doesn't have to be her and him, like, but there will always be a twin that has the vision, has the knowing, is like there, and then there's the fucking runner. We call them a runner. Where they're there, they're on mission, they're on point, and then like the next fucking minute, it's almost like you're dealing with someone who's having a schizophrenic break, but somehow you know you're supposed to just hold it down for them. So do you want to elaborate on that a little bit, Xristina? Because I feel like maybe you know exactly what I'm talking about.
Oh God. I mean, the two, like the two as we go together and like the imbalances that happen and like how we have to hold his shit together for each other.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. I mean, it's like a combination of like breaking down on. I mean, he spent the last 2.5 weeks helping me through like a rapid process where I was so disabled on the outside, you know, as like my mind was opening and awakening that like I couldn't even feed myself. Like I was literally like looking like people were accusing me of being high and being like, my freaking dad called me a crack horse, that I looked like a crack whore. I mean, this is how
massive ascension symptoms.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm like, do you realize like how much fucking energy this takes? And it drains the fuck out of you. It's like you can go from looking radiantly beautiful on one day to like within less than a week looking like everything has been drained out of you.
Yeah. That can definitely yeah. If that's still happening, you and I really need to talk. Because we got to plug you in. The way you fix that is plugging directly into Gaia, and then that doesn't happen anymore.
Okay, we do need to talk then, because I kept getting the message to plug the hole, but I haven't been able to figure out how or what that meant. Okay.
I mean, hold on, let me tap in for a second. Yeah, so do you feel like you guys are swapping roles back and forth? Like some days he's holding it down and some days you're holding it down? You feel that?
Yes, but mostly it's momentary, and right now it's mostly him holding it down.
All right, yeah. So he's holding it down while you're catching up. This is totally normal, and I'm telling everyone this again because the twin flame activation is going to happen on many different levels. Xristina and her twin might not be one of the 144,000 like super meant to be like leading the whole leading of leadings, but you have to remember hierarchies.
Oh no, we are.
She is. She know. Never mind. So Xristina and her twin. That was so good. Fuck yeah. Yes, that's what I like to hear. So when you're connecting to your twins in this way, there are so many different things. Like, she knows that it's her twin flame because of these weird, random little synchronicities, right? Some of you are dealing with what we like to call shadow twins, which is the part of you that's reflecting all of your shadow back at you. You're not going to have the same like weird, like your feet will not look like your shadow twins. Okay, like there will be a lot of difference. Your shadow twin and your twin flame, however, might be very similar in some ways. That's okay, because again, the triggers. You want triggers. If you take anything out of this, the way you hold the frequency for your twin flame energy to know like that for all, like, no, we are. Right? You guys all heard that. She's admitting that she's been in the middle of a fucking rapid ascension for the last 2.5 weeks and yet still knows that she's on mission. We're here to change the global critical mass of consciousness towards higher dimensions. Right? That's that knowing. How are they going to do it? Doesn't fucking matter. That's the knowing that when the twin flame bond comes into that union, that's what makes like the icing on the cake is the romantic relationship. I would like to say it's that really knowing like it doesn't fucking matter. Like, you and I are bonded right now and we're gonna create and we're gonna do this fucking work together. If we're having amazing, crazy, wild sex, that's literally icing on the cake.
Yeah, you have to really get over the fact that it's not going to be wine and roses, just like you said, because some days it is like, you have fucking triggered the shit out of me, you motherfucker, and I'm not ready to admit that this is my fault, you know? Yeah.
No, there were many times that Dylan, it'd be really funny if he was still here actually, because Dylan was the runner in ours. So hearing you say it, it's like, it's just, again, like giving you guys understanding, like, it's not going to be the female and then the male. It's just going to be whoever holds what codes. So, Xristina, do you feel like...
I was totally running. I've been the runner.
Yeah. Do you feel like you hold the divine feminine codes and he holds the divine masculine codes?
Yeah.
Okay. So that would be as far as I'm willing to say anything about the twin flame relationship. It could be a heterosexual relationship. It can be a homosexual relationship. It could be a trans relationship. It could be any sort of combination. But one of you will be 49% feminine codes and 51% masculine codes. And one of you will be the opposite. In our relationship, I actually hold the divine masculine codes and Dylan holds the divine feminine codes. He was the runner. So that makes sense, right? The divine masculine is like kind of pursuing, but also is like, this is what I want. I know what I motherfucking want. But because I'm a woman, I also have that birthing energy. So that's that androgynous sort of play that you willed, Xristina, and I'm telling you this, you will start feeling that own interweaving of your own alchemical marriage strengthen within yourself, which is what he's coming to help you do. And with that, then it strengthens him, and then that strengthens together, and then you get to this calm. The chaos is literally just like you have been handed a fucking netted up ball of twine of like yarn that a cat got into. Is like, here's all your past lives, here's all your karmic debt, here's all of your everything. Go figure it out. And if you guys can hold it together long enough to figure it out, you're going to go weave the most gorgeous fucking tapestry you've ever seen ever. But good luck. That's the easiest analogy I have for the twin flame journey.
No doubt. I totally get you.
So how do you feel about, I'd like to kind of come and bring this back to you, like, where do you feel you are now that you see this, now that I've helped you like see this scope, that there's like a pattern and a journey and like other people are going through the same thing, there's roles. How is that helping you kind of click into place what's been going on for you since December when you connected with your twin flame?
Wow. I mean, the dragons are rising. Do
you want to elaborate on that?
Well, you know, you're putting in, it's so hard because it's so broad. And, you know, you've given me so many different little aspects. Like it's literally, okay, you got to remember this rapid ascension, like awakening thing has brought in so many different aspects and so many different levels and layers of reality and existence, and trying to understand like where it all fits in and put pieces together and, you know, like all the details, because you don't necessarily like remember it and wake up to it like all in like a linear timeline. You know, you're getting bits and pieces and parts. So until you have that full awakening and like opening up, which is not quite there yet, you know, like can have a hard time like going back in and telling you, but like it literally has filled in a lot of pieces and parts.
Awesome. Good. So yeah, with that, I would like everyone, this has been my warning for the last 2 years. It doesn't stop. So at the beginning of especially once you find the dragons, at the beginning of your journey, you have these rest periods. You have days that you get to just lay in bed and integrate and whatever. It doesn't occur anymore. You have to learn how to integrate very like within the course of a walk, right? So having an entire trigger to break down, to crying your eyes out, to being good, to be able to walk back into the reality like, okay, I'm strong mama dragon again, in the course of an hour-long walk with your dog, that's where you get to when you're really, it's not that you're like fully open, it's just that you have your own core way that you process that makes it so you're no longer out for the count, because there isn't time for that. And I don't mean like, oh, you're rushed. It's that it's the only way to integrate it fully, because your conscious mind is never going to be able to actually decode all the layers, right? You just want it to like,
No.
okay, it becomes a knowing,
I overanalyze everything.
I do too.
Yeah, and that's no, but yeah, the time thing too. Like I'm noticing that we are able to control time.
Yeah.
You know, this is like, oh, duh, you know, and he keeps like, keep trying to show you, and I keep like, you know, getting in my own way of this. But we had, we were literally on different timelines the other day. You could see like the clocks, our technology showed different times, and they had previously been synced up because, you know, it runs through the same cellular service.
Yep. That will happen.
Okay, that's like real life proof.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
No, that I was just saying that's what it becomes, that manipulation of reality is what becomes normal for you. And what you're learning, Christina, is how to hold it and how to integrate it. And that's what is most important with any of us, right? Not everyone has a twin flame, which is why it's so important that we understand and recognize that within our own capacity as a whole soul unto ourselves, that we're able to manipulate time and space and to command realities. If you're someone who then decided that you wanted to get real crazy by splitting yourself in half, then you learn how to do that together. But yeah, you'll have different timelines. There have been times where like I feel super blissed out and I'm literally just dealing with Shadow Dylan, and I'm like, how like we're in the same room eating the same food. Why are we on such different frequencies right now? And that really mostly happened in the beginning to middle phases. Right now we stay on the same timeline like very consistently, but it took constant connecting. And when you're apart from each other, it fucking hurts. It like physically makes you ill. So then all of a sudden there's this codependency feeling and like, fuck, I don't know what I'm doing. Is this healthy? And then you somehow have an idea, a flash of watching them die. And you're like, I don't know if I can actually watch that happen again. That shit hurt back in the day. And you really are constantly just moving through it, right?
And you really have to plug into them. Like that's been the message that keeps coming in. It's like you have to put all of that love. Like I almost think, like, what do you think about this? It's like, you know, we're taught you've got to love yourself first. You've got to love yourself first. Mm-hmm. But I almost feel like in order for us to really find that perfect union again, which is ultimately what we're going for, right? It's that reunification, that you actually have to get out of that self-love and you have to like plug in just to each other, you know, like be your own gods almost.
Right.
You know?
So that's, but you can't get to that point until you've each mastered that in your own right, right? Like the reason why I say I know that some people haven't met their twin flame is because they're not getting triggered and they're telling me that it's love and roses and fairy tale white knights and shit. That, or it's again a shadow twin thing where you're triggered, and then defamed usually. So usually ends in some insane chaos where like you literally like I lost 200 friends in a 24-hour period when somebody like raked my name through the social media like mud. Like about a year ago right now, I was dealing with that. And
I remember.
Yeah. So it's really just like, can you hold it down and be okay with you, right? That fearless authenticity, that dragon self, that Kundalini awakening within yourself. And then, yes, if you are someone who called into your existence this twin flame energy, I wasn't someone that was seeking it, right? I wasn't looking, nothing, but all of a sudden last year, I shifted away from dragons into freedom frequency. And everything was about frequencies. I wanted to know about frequencies. And then all of a sudden I took a sound healing class from Dylan. And then everything else like unraveled over 100-day period. Like pure chaos and insanity occurred. I stopped journaling, like that. It's lost in the time-space continuum. That's like how fucking crazy it was. I journal every day in the morning and at night. There are 6 weeks of my life that are just lost in the ether because it's that much of a, okay, I have to lean fully into you because you're about to break apart or I'm about to break apart. I can't get out. I have to know what this is about because if I don't, I'm going to fucking die. And you can't explain it very well until you find someone else who's dealing with it. And then you have them come on Facebook Live so that other people can hear what it's about. Truly. Because it's big, it's heavy energy, especially when you were already kind of pretty much like good on your own, right? You would say you were, even though you knew the twin flame thing was going to happen, like I knew in a way because I was actually wanting a legendary love, even though I was already married. I was doing all this like really deep subconscious like writings, and it was like, what is your deepest heart's desire?
Yeah. Legendary love is great.
Nothing to do with money or power or prestige or being president or anything. Mine was about having a legendary love that was written in the stars that we would change the world together. And I think that's been a theme in my life.
What he wished for too. That's what he wished for when he was 16.
Yeah, exactly. And that's what I remember being a little kid and wanting that. I thought that I had found it in this very fairy tale-esque way with my husband. And we're actually able to like hold down some crazy timeline that I didn't know would ever exist with whatever the fuck my life is right now. But it's the freedom, right? I have freedom in my own life. I'm not tied to anyone and I'm constantly choosing my own reality. And in that, calling in all of these amazing opportunities where my life isn't where it was a year ago. Your life isn't where it, like, we are living proof of how quickly the dragons can shift you when you're willing to unify your will with the divine. Because that's all it really is.
My life isn't even like it was a month ago or like a week ago, you know, like it's.
Yeah, mine too. Seriously, like it keeps going. And that's why I'm saying having those daily practices, right? I have the Accelerated Ascension Bootcamp for a fucking reason.
Every day is a new day. Tomorrow, today is going to be better than the last day.
Yep.
You know, I give my thanks.
No, of course. We're grateful for our triggers. That's the best part about it. We're so grateful for the ability to have the mirror because it strengthens us. And as more of us wake up, and as more of you out there, again, who are watching, even if you don't have a twin flame, you learn something and you glean a holy shit, these two women had to really fall. You do have to fall in love with yourself first to be able to then lean into the mission that much. I
even bought a ring. Yeah.
Yeah, you bought yourself your own wedding ring?
I bought myself my own wedding ring just to remind myself that my first mission was to love myself.
Yep.
So, okay, I'm really glad that you said that too, because like I said, I was pondering, questioning that mission.
No, it is. You have to have that own union within yourself, knowing that your twin is actually here to make it easier. Like I said, once you can get through the chaos and the triggers, the empire that I'm now building, that has been my own vision for several years, is now actually being built and popping off because I have the support system necessary to build it. But that took me being okay with feeling worthy of that much love and support from an external force. Someone's like, that I do see that you're magic and amazing and a goddess and a shapeshifter and a dragon. I honor all of that. Like, oh fuck. Shit.
And that's what I'm having trouble allowing to feel and to be reciprocated, because he does totally see that in me. And I see that in him. And it's like, a
lot of it's the fear of losing it again, right? It's what it really comes down to. It's this fear that it's going to be ripped away from you.
I was ready to just, before I met him, I was ready to leave.
Yeah, you were ready to go off planet. It's totally a normal thing for a lot of people right now.
Ready to go off planet.
Yeah. Going off planet is so much easier than serving the mission. This is why Joan of Arc and Mary Magdalene are two of the guiding light mentors for me, like constantly. Because those women, like Mary Magdalene, had to be the initiate and the woman. She knew the whole time she was with Jesus that he was bound to die, that they were going to do all of this sex magic and strengthen his Ka body so that he could walk through the portal of death, that she was going to have to sit there and watch him motherfucking die. So as a woman, she's sitting there bawling her eyes out during the crucifixion. And as an initiate, as a light worker, as a dragon, and a way shower, she was just holding it down. Super intense, but that's what we're here to do. Hopefully not watch them die this time around, but we've done it in the past. And that's what it hurts. Because we're like, oh my God, okay, how is this going to play out? Am I really ready for this? Yes.
Oh my God.
And you might not ever be, really. It's okay. I'm not. I'll be honest. Like, it's fucking terrifying, Christina. I promise you, girl. I know. It's terrifying. Every day I'm like, what am I doing? Okay. Oh, I'm on mission? Oh, yeah. Fuck. Let's go.
This is profound. Wow.
It's that fun of a game to allow yourself to play when you realize that you came to be a star, right? Like, you came to be a way shower, which means that you have to get so big and so bright that the whole world pays attention. Like Lady Gaga big.
Oh my God.
Because you just said it. You're like, no, we are.
Whoa.
I gave you the out. I literally gave you the out and was like, maybe they're not supposed to be here to change the planet. And without even skipping a beat, you said, no, we are.
I know you were.
Stand up into that level of knowing everyone. Like, let's do that for a second. Christina, you want to talk with me and Dragon for a moment? We're going to bring everyone up to this level.
Saya tata contando ote satay.
when we're playing, everyone, when we play with dragons and the dragon tongue energy, realize that it's, you want to tune into the energy. Don't listen to our words. You can hear some of you like trying to write down the words. What did they say? Tune into the playful energy of two gods making noises at each other because it's interrupting the silence that exists besides that. See how you can play into holding the frequency of pure divine union of I know that I create my own reality. Okay.
Oh, wow.
Anything
You're blowing my mind, woman.
It's fine. That's what I do. The daily. Now try being my twin flame. Everyone have a moment of peace and silence for Dylan because the poor man. It's not ready. That's
I know.
really,
I mean, really,
like,
you need to give it up for my twin too, because I feel so behind. I feel so behind.
Yeah. And that's, it's, I mean, not that you're behind. It's what you said. Can you lean in? Can you really lean in to, he already knows it. You actually decided, like, this was how Dylan phrased it. I thought it was very profound. He's like, I didn't have to learn any of that shit because you were going to learn it already. And all I have to do is lean in and trust when you teach me something.
Yeah.
He actually knows. His whole thing was, whenever he would leave here, he would get like really mad and think that I was a manipulative, like snake crazy person, essentially. Like, holy shit, she just like got me ensnared. And then he realized that that was his shadow. He's like, I know that I'm not in alignment with the mission if I hate you. If I'm mad at you, if anything like that. And that, again, put like a lot of pressure on me at first to realize, no, I'm the one holding the vision. So Xristina, I would invite you to lean in and like re-ask him, like, okay, what's the mission? What's the vision? Like, I really need you to remind me of this constantly because I sometimes hate you and I need to not do that.
Yeah, there's aspects of me that are very angry with him.
Yeah.
And really holding me back. And part of me, it makes it so that like I can't even focus because I get so like if I'm not interested in something, then like I don't focus on it. Mm-hmm. And so it's like really getting in the way. And I'm like, I'm digging and digging and digging because I don't want that to be there.
Yeah. Honestly, it's just a line. It's, you have, and again, anyone who's doing this, you might be the runner, you might be the holder, whatever. However you see it, it's both of you realizing that you're worthy of having all of your dreams come true, and that that's actually really fucking scary to your human. Your God is all into it. Your dragon is 100% like, fuck yeah, I'm here to change the planet. Your human is like, I will go over and have a cup of tea in the garden. Fuck to the no. I'm not doing that.
Yeah.
You want me to go do what? So when you can honor that human part of you and allow yourself to be angry, but then still use it as, like, use your emotions as your gauge, right? How am I feeling towards a certain situation tells me what resonance I am. And that's going to help me know whether I'm still in alignment with my mission, because the mission is so important. It's the only thing that matters, which again, Joan of Arc, I was born to do this. And right now you might not know what that is for you fully, or each of you, or maybe you do, but it's that big. And I want to stress that to anyone who is like Xristina, again, found me a year ago, and today is having profound breakthroughs with a quick hour-long hot seat. Like, let's just have a chat about twin flames. Because
and I've never worked with it.
And she's never worked with me. Like, this is the longest conversation we've ever had, right here live for all of you to watch. It's that big if you want to be that big of a player, right? I want it. I feel it. I'm hungry for the change that's going to come so that my great-grandchildren don't have to live in a world with all of the bullshit we're dealing with. I'm willing to do that. But I want to have fun, and I want to play, and I want to fuck, and I want to eat. I want want to do all of the earthly things too, right? I can be in full service to a divine mission and also honor all of my human carnal pleasures, right? That is heaven on earth, ladies and gentlemen. That right there. Divine mission with someone who triggers the fuck out of you, possibly. Enjoying everything about being human, still knowing that even that, especially that, is changing the planet. When you can eat food and be in bliss, when you can just be like parenting your kids and still feel good, even though you're setting a boundary and setting a standard, you're still in alignment of like, I'm setting this frequency because this is what needs to be done for my children to change, for the world to change. You set the resonant frequency for yourself, and then things magnetize to you or repel from you, and you set the standard and you create the reality. I don't care if you're the runner or if you're the pursuer or whatever in a twin flame relationship. Each one of you already knows that before the true twin flame journey can start. Some of you guys are going to reach out, like I said, and talk about other twins, other karmic connections, soulmates. I know how to deal with all of them. But the true twin flame connection will always, always, always come from your own individual divine union within yourself, that then really on many levels, you're just so fucking narcissistic that you create an external reflection of how much you fucking love yourself.
Yeah. I mean, that was, anyway, you're right on.
Awesome. Thank you, Xristina. I appreciate you being on with me today. Oh, so fun. I'm glad that
thank you for having me. This was, oh my God. Me too.
Do you have any like final questions or anything you want to like tie this up in a pretty little bow with?
Oh, wow. No, I just want to thank you. I mean, this is a profound, I'm not even in my dragon energy right now. So like, I don't even want to say, like, I feel like if I communicate now that the words aren't going to come out like with the right resonance to really communicate the picture and the depth of what I want to say. So no, I don't have any lovely cookies to tie it up with.
No worries. All right, everyone.
But I just want to thank you. Thank you for sharing this and putting me in the hot seat and, you know, just giving me these insights. And
this was so fun. I think I might do a monthly hot seat coaching as one of the episodes. I'd never thought about it. It never ever occurred to me, but this was freaking awesomely fun. And I think that this we'll see. We'll put up a poll and see if people are interested, and maybe we'll just start doing this because that was amazing. I didn't know how this was going to go. I was like, we'll just riff. We'll see what happens. But that was really awesome. So thanks for.
That's a great idea.
Thank you for playing.
I really appreciate it.
That's what I need. You know, that's bravery right there. That's courage, y'all, to go up and just like, okay, this is live to the public, but we're going to do this. That's that dragon.
I just aired my, look at all, I just aired my dirty laundry, you know? So.
It's all good. That's what we need. That's that fearless, that's that unfuckwithable, unshameable energy, right? Like, I will just here's my closet full of skeletons. Here's that trap door. Here, y'all. I'll just do it myself. So you guys can't try to throw it at me later.
It is. I mean, it's really about being like unfuckwithable, like you said, and just like letting go and not caring what anybody else thinks. And it's like, that's what I'm still, that is my biggest challenge right now. Just letting it fucking go. Unfucking leashing it. All right. Thank you.
I love you. Thanks so much, Xristina. Bye, everyone. See you next week.
Love you too. Bye.